Downtown Emporia on special every Monday. They've got $8 for 6 bone-in wings and a $6 cheeseburger basket special. Plenty of drink specials as well here at 627 Event Space. I want to welcome those of you listening live at kvoe.com/listen. We're also streaming on the ESU Athletics YouTube channel. To start the scoring in this game, Emporia State actually went back to what's been maybe their favorite play of this year as they go with a punt block to get on the board in the first. Zeller, and it's loose, picked up, scooped up by the Hornets.
Over the job.
Touchdown, Emporia State. It's Kingsley Bennett, and the Hornets special teamers make another big play. I have to be honest, Coach, I wasn't sure that you guys blocked that because you guys were in the backfield so fast. Look, you were almost going to take it away from the punter on that play.
Yeah, I didn't see the actual the end part of that play. I just knew that we had picked it up and scored a touchdown.
You got the important part.
I got the important part. But that's been really a weapon for us this year. And, as you see right there, we lead the country and block punts. And in all our games this year, it has really helped with changing the momentum of the game, and it's also given us opportunities to score points on the board. And the only time that I can recall right now that we didn't score points off of it is when – now, again, we didn't block it when Northwest dropped the snap on the one punt. But it has been a weapon for us all year.
It's the 7th blocked kick of the year for Emporia State. It's the second most ever for the Hornets behind only the 2016. They blocked 11 that year. I don't know what got into that team, but they were livid back there. You guys were able to back that up going to a long-distance wheel route on your next offensive possession. Sarver looking for the end zone, looking on the near side. He's got Kearns, makes the catch. Did he get into the end zone? Yes! Touchdown, Emporia State! We weren't sure there initially. It looked like Coach Watkins was thinking about throwing that flag. But, again, you got to give credit to your special teamers because it looked like Caden Dodson, who will be our guest today, they knew exactly what the assignment was. They were out there, and they were ready to get that thing kicked.
Yeah, that's we're ready to get that thing, the extra point team out there. Coach Cash was yelling to get out there, let's go. Because I was nervous, too, that they may try to review that. But it was a great catch, a well-executed play, and it was a great throw.
Yeah, perfect route, and boy, he was open. Yeah, it was phenomenal. Longest catch of the year for Diego Kearns. Washburn tried to get tricky on a trip into the red zone there in I think that was in the second quarter is when this play happened. And it did not go well for the Ichabods. Second down and goal at about the 11. They're going to run a reverse. Harmison wants to pass. Harmison is going to not get away. He will be sacked. Marte Russell sacks him back on the 18-yard line. It looked like Washburn, you guys were expecting them to be a big play offense. They got some big plays early, but boy, and we're going to talk about this a lot more here in a little bit, but boy, did the defense really latch down in the second half of that ball game.
Yeah, no question. And the second half, we turned it up a notch and was able to get control of the game again. I thought we started off really well. Right off the start of the game there, we jumped up 14-0, and they were able to tie it up at halftime. And then that third quarter was huge for us. And then defensively, the pick sixes, man, I will take those any day of the week of getting quick scores.
Yeah, no, don't even have to run a play to get those scores. Kingsley Bennett got back into the end zone on a wide-open play in the third. Here's Sarver. Wide open Bennett! Touchdown, Emporia State!
Beautiful.
24 yards. They completely lost Bennett. Bennett with his second trip to the end zone today. And we'll have a little bit more from Kent Weiser, I believe, on this play. Emporia State had to call a defensive timeout, just a little bit unorganized. And I would say the play by Landon Boss definitely made that timeout worth it. Madden under pressure, throws over the middle, it's intercepted. Landon Boss in the open field. He's got the 30, got a blocker in front. Gabe Booker gets the block, and Boss is going to go to the end zone on a pick six. Touchdown, Emporia State. And the Hornets, with their hands almost around the Kansas Turnpike Trophy with 8:35 to play in the ball game, 37-17 Hornets.
Boy, you don't mind taking a timeout when you can get defense like that.
And boy, Landon Boss, the MIAA Defensive Player of the Week for a second week this season. Another monster game for him.
Yeah, it turned up huge. You know, it took him. I kind of joked with him a little bit. I thought, man, it took you a while to get to the end zone. I thought you were faster than that. You used to play quarterback.
Well, he did.
In high school. But, no, it was a great play by Landon. Landon's gotten better every week and is really becoming a difference maker for us on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, it is scary to think that he's maybe not even at the height of his potential
right.
yet. That is really frightening. Emporia State begins their basketball season on Friday in St. Joseph. Both teams face Wayne State College, the men at 2 at the MWSU Fieldhouse. We'll have that for you on KVUE. The women at the St. Joseph Civic Arena on Mix 104.9 at 3 o'clock. Listen to both online. KVUE.com/sports. We're getting set for Senior Day. It's the 5-5 Hornets, the 5-5 Tigers at Fort Hays State. Both teams are also 4-4 in the MIAA. Kickoff at 1:05. It's a noon RV Doc pregame show. We'll have it for you coming up on Saturday on Mix 104.9. More with the coach after a Turnpike Tussle win when we come back live from 627 Event Space. This is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Kelly Medrano for a free personal protection review.
It's time to fall forward into football season and cheer on your favorite team. So why not get new gear for you and your family at Sports Connection? Sports Connection carries Emporia High and area high school team apparel, as well as ESU, KU, and K-State gear. They also do custom screen printing for your team, booster club, or your family and fans. Catch the spirit with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th, here in Emporia.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need fast care, Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care is here for you. Conveniently located on site at Newman Regional Health, Express Care offers walk-in service for non-emergency illnesses and injuries. No appointment needed. Open 7 days a week to keep you feeling your best. Call today at 620-343-7828. Trust Express Care for quick, reliable treatment. Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care, helping the Hornets achieve their healthy goals.
Mix 104.9.
Emporia State Volleyball wraps up the regular season this week at White Auditorium Thursday and Friday. Number 24 ESU, yes, they're back in the top 25, faces number 7 Central Oklahoma on Thursday. First serve at 6 p.m. Don't miss the exciting action of Lady Hornet Volleyball as they make a push for the MIAA Championship this weekend. Welcome back to Hornet Talk here at 627 Event Space. Blake Cripps joined by the head coach, Garen Higgins. The huge Kansas Turnpike trophy is up here in front of us. It's actually taller than the table. So one thing, and I've mentioned this, Jamie Souter and Aaron Harder, they were kind of the brainchild to get this put together. I know that Coach it kind of started with Coach.
Brainchild, all right.
I know that Coach Watkins kind of started this conversation with you with an email over the summer, like, "Hey, we got to get a trophy," and I know you were 100% for it. Have you guys figured out where this trophy is going to live when it's in your possession?
We haven't yet. We talked about it. Coach Cashat brought it to yesterday. Asked me, said, "Hey, where do you want to put this at?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. Let's just we'll get that figured out."
Sure. I know that this. You've mentioned that this is not the final. They got some staining and other things, some final touches they're going to put on it. I think they've got to replace the plaque on the front because you've got one more win on it now. But yeah, you want to. I know there's a balance because. Certainly, if you bring recruits in, you want them to see what the rivalry is all about. But I know in other places they have it placed someplace where everybody can see it, where the public can walk by. So maybe they'll have a couple of different places it can live, but certainly got to find some place.
Got to find some place. We have a trophy case. It's definitely not going to fit in there.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So you got to. We do. They do. We'll get it stained, and I think they're going to put a. I don't even know what those are called.
A QR code.
QR code.
They wanted it to have a modern touch, so a lot of the trophies
touch
will have, the whole list of the records and the scores. So they wanted a modern touch because even though it is the second oldest rivalry, I mean it's a modern trophy. It just got created.
Right.
It's about time.
I know. I thought they might just get their wood burning set out and maybe wood burn the scores through all the years.
And I think that was an idea
on the back.
I think
Jamie's got a wood burning set.
Yes,
sure.
I think that was an idea was to put it on the back, whether with adding wood burning or doing that. But I think certainly in a modern era, having the QR code is a great idea to give it a little modern touch. But yeah,
it's a great idea to have something. We've been wanting this for a long time, and
it looked like your guys were most importantly. Your guys bought in on.
They did buy in.
They wanted
it. They did. Anytime you have an opportunity to win something, a trophy.
Sure.
And I think that just adds more to the rivalry.
Yes, and we joked that the Washburn players didn't seem. I told their play-by-play guy about it before the game, so he knew. He saw it. Like, oh yeah, it's cool. I'll mention it on the air. I'm like, well, when the second half goes like that, I'm not sure how much they were talking about it. We talked about it quite a bit,
right?
With the lead growing, and certainly it's only going to matter if both teams are really fighting for it. But if you guys never let them have it, then I guess it won't be that big of a deal to them. It'll just live here in Emporia, and that'll be fantastic.
That's the way we would want it.
Absolutely. Well, in this game, you've got a tie ball game going into the locker room at halftime. You've done some good things, a good start, but they've battled back. It kind of felt like the game we thought it would be throughout the records and rivalry game. What were your thoughts going into the locker room?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I was a little bit nervous going in at halftime we had gained, we got off to a really good start, 14-0, and then it was 14-3. We had the fake, they ran the fake punt on us, and were able to go down and score to tie it. I just thought I was a little nervous because there was just some weird things happening. The interception that JMO threw,
sure,
I thought hit the ground, and then they had they threw a deep ball. We had the guy covered.
Circus catch.
The ball got tipped up in the air, and then he came back down and caught it. So I've been involved in games like that where things are just kind of going, and it's a rivalry game, so you throw out everything, the records and all that. So I was a little nervous, but the one thing we did talk to our guys about was just going back out and being consistent with our execution and maintaining possession of the football. And our guys, they rose to the challenge.
For the most,
the third quarter was huge for us.
It was. I thought that I'm going to start on a negative here, but I'm going to take you to a positive eventually because you start the ball game there in the third quarter. The opening kick does not get caught. It's almost recovered by Washburn. And we're thinking 3 and out. We're like, well, at least Washburn didn't score, but that's the only positive thing that's happened to the Hornets here in this first 2 minutes. It was about as bad of a start as you could get. But then for your defense to, Washburn goes down the field a little bit. You guys bow up. They get all the way to the 3, but you get that sack to the 4-yard line, and eventually, you push them back. There's a holding penalty that nullifies a play. You sack them, and then they miss the field goal. And for you guys to kind of flush what happened And then after that, I think that was that's the pass to Bennett. You respond on the very next drive by getting it to Kingsley Bennett. How big was that sequence? Defensive stop and then immediately scoring. I thought that totally changed the game.
Totally did. Just changed the whole momentum of the game. We got the momentum back for us to go down and score, and really kind of gain back control of the football game. Then it was just then of course we come up with the pick sixes and then we're just able to I felt like physically dominate the line of scrimmage with our offensive line and run the football and be able to close the game out.
Looking right here, Coach, and you look at the domination for your defense. I'm looking at their drives. They did not cross the 50-yard line after that particular drive that they had where they missed the field goal. They didn't cross the 50 the rest of the game against your defense.
Totally, again, just played. And I would say that, visiting with Coach Porto and the defensive coaches, that we play like that. That is kind of how we felt like we should have been playing. Sure. We can dominate the game. But again, give credit to Washburn. They prepared well. Their kids were ready to play, and that's what a rivalry game's about. And it was no in that second half for us to be able to just defensively to really flex our muscles there and not get, like you said, they didn't cross the 50. Combine that with the turnovers.
I think they only had 5 completed passes after halftime, something like 37 yards after the half. And, they came out on that first drive and, they're averaging 65 yards per game on the ground, and they ran for about 35 in that first play. Was there any adjustment in halftime because the running game just really didn't seem to be there in the second half, and they got you deep with some deep passes? Those really weren't a factor in the second half, or was it just hey, we're going to be stronger and tougher and kind of impose our will?
I just think we started playing better, and not that our players weren't ready. I think we just relaxed a little bit when we got up on them 14-0, and again, that's one of the things, and I've talked about this with this team. Is sometimes it's like a roller coaster ride, and where we can look really, really good for a quarter or 2 quarters and then totally disappear with how we're playing and not execute at a high level on both sides of the football and struggle. It's kind of been how it's been this year. But I've said this too about this team is we're very competitive and we're very resilient, and these players like playing the game of football. And and that's one of the things. We're 5-5, and I'm going to be honest with you. I said this to him the other day, and I mean it. It's about one of the most enjoyable years that I've had coaching a team.
You said you were looking forward to this year the most that you had, and you had some really good teams that you I'm sure you knew 2016, 2023, some of those teams are going to be really good.
Exactly.
And you said you were looking forward to this year more than you had in a long time.
What we were going to be like, had a lot of question marks, knew the whole staff, we all knew we were going to have to coach these guys about everything, and we still have to. I even said it, we talked about it yesterday. Listen, we have 1 week left in the regular season. We still have to coach these guys like it's the first game of the year, and not take anything for granted, because this is still everything we're doing is a process, and ending the year on a positive note and going into off season and recruiting, with some momentum.
A graduate assistant working with the defense, LeVon Jones, will headline our guest today. We're also talking with the senior kicker, Caden Dodson. They'll both be coming up here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and take a time now. We'll bring on Coach Jones here in just a moment as we get set for Fort Hays State, the Salute to Service, coming up on Saturday at Welch Stadium. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
Catch the spirit and gear up for game day with Sports Connection, Kansas' leading team sporting goods provider. Sports Connection is your go-to for anything sporting goods, with the biggest brands in sports at competitive prices.
Sarver looking for the end zone, looking on the near side. He's got Kurtz, makes the catch. Did he get into the end zone? Yes! Touchdown, Emporia State! Barber. Wide open Bennett. Touchdown Emporia State. They completely lost Bennett. Madden under pressure, throws over the middle, it's intercepted, Landon Boss in the open field, he's got the 30, got a blocker in front, Gabe Booker gets the block, and Boston's gonna go to the end zone on a pick six, touchdown Emporia State! And the Hornets with their hands almost around the Kansas Turnpike Trophy with 8:35 to play in the ball game, 37-17 Hornets. Emporia State, for the first time, will win the Kansas Turnpike Trophy. They beat Washburn in the Turnpike Tussle 45-17.
Medical Partners is proud to provide the same orthopedic and sports medicine care trusted by the athletes on the Hornet fields. Their expert medical team serves the greater Emporia area with comprehensive treatment for sprains, fractures, joint pain, and sports-related injuries. Trusted by athletes and available to everyone. Schedule your appointment today with Newman Regional Health Medical Partners at 620-343-2376. Newman Regional Health, achieving healthy goals.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Brought to you by Shelter Insurance. See Dave Watts for a free personal protection review. Mix 104.9.
The Lady Hornet soccer team is in the semifinals of the MIAA tournament in Wichita on Thursday, facing the number 6 seed Central Oklahoma. ESU came from 2 goals down to stun number 16 Washburn in a tournament edition of the Turnpike Tussle on Sunday. It's the Lady Hornets and the Chose Thursday at noon at the Stryker Sports Complex in Wichita. Welcome back to Hornet Talk as we get set for the regular season finale. Emporia State looking for a 4th straight winning season, taking on Fort Hays State. Both teams are 5-5. Both teams are 4-4 in the MIAA. Emporia State fell 36-7 to Fort Hays State last year at Welch Stadium. One of the guys hoping to even up that score a little bit on the defensive end, and the guy that had to love the second half shutout for Emporia State at Welch Moore Bowl on Saturday as they shut out Washburn in the second half is my guest here. First-year graduate assistant, and of course he was a Hornet linebacker himself. Levon Jones is joining us here on Hornet Talk. Coach Jones, so great to have you on. Thanks so much for the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, for you guys in that ball game, Washburn comes out running the ball kind of effectively early. Were you a little bit surprised that they attacked you on the ground, given that they were, hadn't really devoted much of their offense to that point in the year?
No, we weren't. We planned for it. Came out with pin pull mid-zone. A couple teams in the previous weeks hit us for it. So we planned on it, and yep.
They had some deep passes early, but in the second half, the running game kind of withered up, and there was really nothing. You guys got beat over the top. What did it feel like from the sideline? Coach Higgins said he thought they mainly just, started playing to their potential. Is that how you saw it on the sideline?
Yeah, it felt good. Going at halftime, like Coach Higgins said, we were pretty nervous, but we all looked at, especially defensively, we all looked at the guys and pick your faces up, like stop acting defeated and go out there and just you're better than them, so act like it.
They did. Spoiler alert. How big was it for you guys after that? You almost fumble the kickoff. They go 3 and out. But for you guys to get that sack there after the score is wiped off because of the holding, and then you force a missed field goal. How huge was that for the defense? It seems like from that point on, their offense just really didn't do much of anything against you guys.
Yeah, it was huge. It showed that that what we were supposed to do, we did, and our guys were playing well, and just them having the confidence and building the confidence and them playing with the confidence to do so.
We are talking with Levon Jones, graduate assistant working with the defense, coaching the linebackers. How much would you have liked to have had a trophy like this to play for in the tussle?
I think it would have been nice. We played Washburn, we beat them 4 times, so I think it would have been nice to praise it all 4 times.
No big deal. Just went 4-0 in your Hornet career. Was that something that you and the seniors talked about before your last tussle? And that would have been week 0 last year. That's something you guys talked about, like, hey, we have a chance to go undefeated against these guys.
Yeah, the rivalry's there, but we kind of have the mindset of it's just another game. But the rivalry's always going to be there, but we approach every game like it was just another game.
There's a fine line, isn't it? For you guys, obviously, you've been working, I presume, when I've come to practice at least, predominantly with the linebackers. Not that you don't coach all the defense, but what's it been like to get to see this guy, Landon Boss, who's the MIAA Defensive Player of the Week for a second time? What's it like to see him in action?
I'm actually with the D-line, but it's fun watching Boss, especially we get to eat up blocks for him.
Sure.
With the chain gang, so it's fun watching him go to work, and also our guys go to work down there.
So you've been working with the D-line some. What's that been like, coming from a linebacker spot and then kind of learning more about the defensive line and what they do?
It's definitely different. But Coach Lopo's done everything he can to help me and bring me along and just teach me about what the D-line's like and how to defeat blocks, things like that, and just the technicality of it.
Was that something that you wanted? Did you ask to kind of be put in a different position? Or was that something they suggested to you? How did that come about to kind of go away from your normal position? I know that the 2 guys in the secondary, they're not coaching their natural position on the defense, so it's something that does happen.
Yeah, I think they just put me there, and I'm honestly grateful because Coach Lopo, he's been doing it a long time, so being under him is good. I'm learning a lot and just seeing how he does things and how things are supposed to be, and just learning.
Levon Jones is our guest. He is a defensive coach, coaching on the defense, helping out with the D-line, former Hornet linebacker. You had mentioned when we had you on for Hornet Talk last year that you wanted to get into coaching. I'm not sure if you planned on it at Emporia State. I think you might have mentioned that you'd like to be on at Emporia State. How has the reality of coaching kind of matched up with your expectations of what you thought that coaching would be like starting out as a GA?
The hours are kind of crazy as a player.
Sure.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the grind. I appreciate how the hard work is, because we work hard as players. But seeing the behind the scenes as what our coaching staff does for us is eye-opening. It makes us appreciate it way more than we did as players.
Well, I guess you still thinking like you'd like to be a coach after this taste here?
Yeah, I think so.
They haven't scared you off is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
Okay, good deal. I don't remember if I asked you, maybe I did, but did you mention like what kind of level you college, high school, or maybe pro, what level you'd like to coach at?
It depends. High school or college, really.
Okay.
That's where I like to stay at.
Sure. No, nothing wrong with that. Final thing here, obviously today, last week of the regular season, I guess 2 things. First off, how important to end the season on the right note for these guys and get a winning record?
Very important. I admire these guys, especially the leadership, the captains. They could have gave up a long time ago and stopped fighting, but they kept on fighting, and they got a chance to finish it the right way. So
and then the last thing for you, initial scout on Fort Hays State. I know that this is the off day. You kind of break things down individually. You guys as a staff of the players do their own meetings, but overall, what are some of the noteworthy things about the Tigers you've picked up?
They're pretty good. They're good on offense, good quarterback, kind of a big kid, so hard to bring down. So we got to bring our hips when we tackle and things like that, but pretty good all around.
Emporia State getting set for Fort Hays State coming up on Saturday in the regular season finale. We'll have it for you with a 1:05 kickoff, and the pregame coverage on the RV Doc pregame show will begin at noon, and we'll have that for you on Mix 104.9. Coach Levon Jones working with the defense. Coach, appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Levon Jones, ladies and gentlemen, joining us here on the Hornet Talk, our last football show, combination show next week as we transition to basketball. We'll transition to special teams with a senior kicker, Caden Dodson. He's coming up next, live from 627 Event Space. This is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Find out how Kelly Medrano can help with your auto, home, and life needs.
It's time to fall forward in the football season and cheer on your favorite teams. So why not get new gear for you and your family at Sports Connection? Sports Connection carries Emporia High and area high school team apparel, as well as ESU, KU, and K-State gear. We also do custom spring fitting for your team, booster club, or your family and friends. Breakfast good with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Newman Regional Health Medical Partners is proud to provide the same orthopedic and sports medicine care trusted by the athletes on the Hornet fields. Their expert medical team serves the greater Emporia area with comprehensive treatment for sprains, fractures, joint pain, and sports-related injuries. Trusted by athletes and available to everyone. Schedule your appointment today with Newman Regional Health Medical Partners at 620-343-2376. Newman Regional Health, achieving healthy goals.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th here in Emporia.
Mix 104.9.
Saturday is senior day for Emporia State football, and also the program Salute to Service with 10 current players, a manager and a former player recognized before the game. They'll also recognize 2 winners of the University Service Citation Award, and ESU football will present the Steve Henry Award before the game. Don't miss senior day Saturday at Welch Stadium. We are joined now by a senior kicker playing his 4th year, and he mentioned, like, hey, I only had 4 years to play, 4 years. I didn't get 6 here, like some of those guys in the coronavirus era, but Caden Dotson, a puncher and a kicker out of Argyle, Texas, joining us for his final Hornet Talk. Caden Dotson, ladies and gentlemen, joining us here on Hornet Talk. Caden, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate you being here. So, looking at this game for you guys, you had personally a great game against Washburn, obviously, but overall, what were your thoughts on winning this rivalry one more time? And you will also graduate with a 4-0 record against the Ichabods.
Yeah, it's a good feeling for sure, especially with that game and what it means to everybody. And yeah, it was a pretty cool feeling. That was my first game I got to play was at Washburn my freshman year. So ending it off on the right note at their place was for sure a great feeling.
It looked to me that, there were some get-togethers, we'll call them that, during the game between you guys, and certainly you expect that, you anticipate that, you understand that in a rivalry game, but I'm assuming that those were not mostly, I've been told through the grapevine that some of those, meetings, they were a little bit confident in the first half. You guys kind of took it away from them in the second there, though.
Oh yeah, we didn't give them much hope towards the end of the game.
No, you did not. Is that something you guys kind of talked about as a senior class? It's not nearly as big of a senior class as some previous ones have been, but did you guys kind of mention, like, hey, we can go, I know you want to treat every game the same, but when you go 4-0 against your rival, that's something that's you're going to stick with you all the time.
Yeah, it's we talked about just starting the game off on the right foot and, just kind of not giving them any room for anything positive. So we just wanted to stay on them from the start to the end.
Yeah, well, you guys definitely did there in that second half with a shutout. And you individually looking at the kicking, you've made 9 in a row and 11 of your last 12, even more than that. I think like 15 of your last 16 PATs. For you to have individually, it's such a really solid game against Washburn, hit your field goal, 3 of 3 on PATs. What did that mean to you to be able to really produce for your team? And you had a great game against them last year. I think you were 3 for 3 and 3 for 3 last year on field goals and PATs.
Yeah, it's so important just to go out there and just be able to do my job and just do what I can for the team to help out. But yeah, it's always good to be 100%. But at the end of the day, I have a job to do, and just being able to go out there and do it for my teammates is crucial.
Caden Dodson, our guest, senior kicker for the Emporia State football team. How much pressure is that, knowing that the only acceptable outcome is 100%, which there's no other sport in which you have to do it right 100% of the time? Not that everybody knows you're going to miss some kicks in 50-yard. I think that people get desensitized to how difficult kicking is when you see these NFL guys kicking at 50 yards. Like, guys, this is really a new thing. You look at the historical percentage of 50-plus yard kicks, and people just think and anticipate that's going to happen, but it's just not that easy as some of those guys in the NFL make it look like.
Yeah, I think one thing that's helped me out since in my career here is the older I've gotten, I've learned to be more where my feet are at right now. So if you go into a game, expecting to hit 5 field goals, it's going to be a lot more pressure than I just got to go in and make the first one. And
make this one right now.
Exactly, yeah. So just being where my feet are has been huge.
It's interesting you mentioned that you're more experienced now, because the only way that you can feel this way is if you are more experienced. We were talking before we came on, and we kind of mentioned, like, man, this is it on Saturday. And you're like, man, the time sure did go fast. Can you kind of explain that? I know that for a lot of the audience, myself included, we felt that at some point in our lives, that for sure. But what's it for you in the moment, being where your feet are right now and knowing that your Hornet career is coming to an end on Saturday?
Yeah, these past few weeks I've just been trying to soak in every little detail, from sitting on the couch in the locker room, just kind of taking it all in, just enjoying the little things even more than I already did. But I'm not really thinking about it right now.
Good.
At the end of the day, there's still a job that needs to be done, and if I go out of here 5-4, I'll be happy. But if I go out of here 4-5, it's not going to be. It's not
sure.
Good, so.
I'm not trying to break you or anything, but is there one thing that you may miss more than anything else on in terms of your Hornet experience here? You've been a part of some really special teams here.
Yeah, the locker room for sure. That's where I get to see everyone. On the field, I'm kind of doing my own thing with the specialists, but in the locker room, it's free game. So you go up to anybody, have a conversation with them, and those guys are my brothers, and I'll have them for life. But just being able to spend time with them, quality time with them in the locker room, is what I'm going to miss the most.
Caden Dodson is our guest. He is the kicker for Emporia State. What have you been studying here at ESU?
So I started off in wildlife and fisheries, and then moved into sports leadership and recreation.
Okay. What would any future plans with that degree, or maybe not using that degree?
I'm not sure, to be quite honest with you. I kind of want to be a fireman. Warden. Being a game warden's been my dream job since I was a kid, but
sure,
probably be a fireman.
Okay, I think we need both. Didn't somebody tell me there's like less than one game warden per county in the state? So I think we need both of those desperately here. Final thing, like I said, not trying to break you, but can you take us through the emotions of what that's going to be like for senior day? You're going to be walked out there, processed before the crowd, and obviously, but like you said, all that's going to happen, but there's still going to be a job to do at the end of it.
Yeah, there's going to be some pretty important people in my life that I'm going to be able to share the field with for one last time, and my parents are going to be out there. My boss is going to walk me out with my parents. There's just important people in my life that mean a lot to me, and just being able to go out the right way and just giving one more time. It's nothing else is guaranteed in life, but this one is. So I'm gonna enjoy it.
I didn't screen this question or ask, but if I may ask it, if I can't, that's fine. I'll move on. But who is the boss?
Oh, Russ Jenkins, Emporia legend.
Okay, Russ, very nice to walk you out there. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Last thing here, I thought of another question. How do you guys look about in terms of scouting when you're a special teams unit? I'm sure that other teams, because of the punt block, they've had to start scouting Emporia State. How do you kind of go about scouting when you do your film work looking at Fort Hays State?
I don't do, too much. I'm in every meeting just like everybody else is.
Is there anything that you guys talk about in terms of field goal or punt block?
Oh, yeah, we talk. We do that.
I guess the Tigers field goal and punt block.
We watch field goal every week, just seeing where their block's coming from. But at the end of the day, I got to make my time, and I got to get lifts on the ball. So, there's not much that changes. Sure, yeah, they got some athletes, but we got athletes too. So.
Caden Dodson, he's going to be playing on senior day. His last game as a Hornet is coming up on Saturday. Coach Caden, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Caden Dodson, ladies and gentlemen, and we will wrap up with Coach here in just a moment as we get set for senior day and the salute to service as the Hornets take on the Tigers. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
Heading to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th here in Emporia.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need fast care, Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care is here for you. Conveniently located on site at Newman Regional Health, Express Care offers walk-in service for non-emergency illnesses and injuries. No appointment needed. Open 7 days a week to keep you feeling your best. Call today at 620-343-7828. Trust Express Care for quick, reliable treatment. Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care, helping the Hornets achieve their healthy goals.
It's time to fall forward in the football season and cheer on your favorite teams. So why not get new gear for you and your family at Sports Connection? Sports Connection carries Emporia High and area high school team apparel, as well as ESU, KU, and K-State gear. We also do custom screen printing for your team, booster club, or your family and friends. Catch this kid with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Did you guys switch over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call them a shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Dave Watts. Mix 104.9.
Wrapping up here at Hornet Talk to end the regular season Hornet football with the Salute to Service at Senior Day coming up on Saturday as they take on the Fort Hays State Tigers. Hey, Emporia State fans, Emporia State Disc Golf hosts the Mid-American Regional presented by Dynamic Disc Saturday and Sunday at Champions Landing. Don't miss a chance to see your defending national runner-up Lady Hornets and ESU men defend their home course. The action starts at 9 a.m. Saturday, 8:30 a.m. Sunday at Champions Landing. Well, Coach, obviously the most important thing right now, and you've mentioned this several times, finishing the right way to end the season, and of course that means for you that would be a fourth straight winning season for you guys. How much of a focus has that been in practice? I mean, I guess in order to do that you had to win last week, so step one of that goal has been accomplished. Now it's just time to get the second win and you'll have the end that you wanted.
Yeah, just send these seniors out the right way. It's not a very big group compared to last year. It's a great group though, great bunch of young men that I'm extremely proud of. You know, and I always think senior days are special. I really do. I've been through a lot of them here, and you know, and especially with it falling on the last game of the year for these guys that, you know, most likely ever played football again with their teammates. You know, so I think our guys will be ready to play. You know, last year was a tough game. This game was a tough one last year. It was. I've had to think about this one for a year, to be quite honest with you. We were at the time, I think, ranked 11th in the country, and it was a rainy day, and they out-toughed us. Two lightning delays. We didn't handle the rain very well. You know, I blame a lot of things in that game on myself with the preparation of our team, and just disappointed in how we played. So we need to rectify that Saturday. And I think this team, they showed it to me last week. They showed it to us last week, how they prepared during the course of the week and how they went on the road up north to Washburn and won that game the way that we did. So I know that this team will be ready to play.
How has that been for you guys, trying to bounce back after losses? Because the last three losses that you've had, you lost against Nebraska Kearney on the road. You lost to Pittsburgh State at home, and then you bounce back, you blow out Missouri Western, maybe your best game of the year. Then you lose to Central Oklahoma. You come out, you get that gritty, toughest win of the year at Central Missouri, and then you lose to Northwest Missouri. You go to Washburn, you get a win, a rivalry game. You totally dominate the second half. What's giving you guys such good, I mean, I don't know, bounce back ability? I'm not sure that's a word, but you guys have had it this year.
You know, I think it's our players. I really do. I think it starts with them. I mean, of course, the coaching staff, I feel like the coaches do a great job of preparing their position and their players to go out and play on Saturday. And but that's what I attribute it to, just the personnel. Every team's different. And this is a relatively young team. It really is. If you look at the production, you know, if you turn this paper over and look at the guys that are catching balls and, you know, your leading rusher and all those things, these are guys that are sophomores and, you know, leading tacklers, a junior, you know, so this is a hungry team. Even though we're 5-5, I believe it's a hungry team. They like to compete.
You said they're resilient.
I have called that all year, and that's why it's been a tough year, you know, because we've had our ups and downs. But these guys have showed up, man, and there's been games where we haven't played up to our standard, but then there's been games where that team was better than us. You know, we sometimes couldn't get out of our own way with some of the mistakes that we made, especially early in the year, but we've grown from those mistakes. I think we're better from those. We lost our starting quarterback. We had to play a true freshman quarterback, 18 years old, never stepped foot in the MIAA game. In his first game, he has to go on the road to Central Missouri. On there 2 years ago, they were the MIAA champs. So that's the thing I look about with this team and this personality of this team has been, there's been times they've really wanted to pull my hair out. There's been times, man, I really like this team. I really like the competitiveness And, it doesn't seem like, to be quite honest with you, it doesn't seem like we're 5-5.
No. Well, you got a competitive head coach, that's for sure. And the one thing we haven't mentioned yet is you mentioned the young guys that you have on this team and putting guys in positions that they haven't been before. How about having a guy that's gone 100 yards on the ground, back-to-back games in Diego Kearns? That's the first time since 2021. A guy named Keenan did that for you. People will remember him, and he's had a chance with a game like that. He could get to a 900-yard season.
No question. That would be huge for us. And, again, that is a player, again, that I'm talking about with, Diego's a redshirt sophomore, and he's gotten better since day one. Man, he is running very physical. He understands our offense. It always starts with those guys up front. I always say that. Those guys are gritty. Those guys are tough, and it's made us better. It's made us be able to help a true freshman quarterback come in and win football games for us.
You've mentioned that you want to finish the right way and that it's a big deal for recruiting. Why do you say that it's such a big deal for recruiting?
Well, I don't know. The big deal to me is just from a coaching staff, just from your players' perspective, winning your last game and going into the offseason, you just have that positive mindset. All right, now, is it a big deal whether we're 5-6 or 6-5 to a recruit? I don't know. All right, but it's a big deal to us. Sure. All right, because we feel like that this unit, this group, this team that we have sticks together. Okay, and we might lose guys. That's the part of college football right now. But if the main part of this nucleus comes back, I can't wait to.
I know.
Next year.
I can't wait to see this team next year.
It's going to be a process. It's going to be a one-day deal, but we could be, again, don't want to look too far in the future. You want to take care of business this week, and we can talk more about that on down the road. But those are things that I look at, like winning the last game and going into the off season with the positive mindset.
So I'm going to take you ahead to next year, but I'm going to loop back to why it's important for this year's team on this question. You guys have been bouncing back after losses, but in order for you to have the kind of great teams that you have, all of those teams that you've had, the 9-win teams, and you've had more, 8+ win teams than anybody in the history of Emporia State, but all those teams have been able to string wins together. How much do you think about that, in terms of the kind of year you want to have next year? You're going to want to string wins together, but you haven't, it's been, like you said, a roller coaster second half of this year. How big would that be to string a second win together here to wrap up this season?
Yeah, it would be huge, and especially against an in-state. You want to, yes, Washburn is our so-called rival, and yes, they are, but Hayes is a rival too. They're in the state.
They're all rivals in the MIAA.
Aren't they? They are. And, Fort Hayes was a team that was picked to finish, and a lot of polls there picked to finish second in the league. And then in some people's eyes, they were picked to win the league.
Sure.
Because I felt like when they beat us last year, and they manhandled us last year, I felt like they were playing the best football in the MIAA period last year at that time. So they had a returning starter coming back this year at quarterback, and sometimes it happens. There's nothing guaranteed in this league. That's the thing about it. Me and you, we can sit here and talk about next year all we want, but man, there's no guarantees, and you got to take it day by day.
Well, and you've mentioned that this league right now, just in how crazy it is, at one point you probably had some people that really didn't feel like rivals, like Northeastern State, when they had to, turn tail and run. I'll say that. You don't have to. Coach Higgins not saying that. Blake Cripps is saying that. But I said what I said. Yeah. Lincoln, they had to get out of the league for probably the same reason. But right now, you look at all these games. Every single game you show up almost feels kind of like a rivalry game. You can't, I know that Washburn's the rival. You can't imagine how many positive comments I've gotten because people wanted to see you guys beat Missouri Western. I wouldn't think it's a rivalry, but people, it's just so tight-knit and tough to get wins right now. Every win is so big.
It is. And this league, I've been here, been here 18 years. 18th season. So I can go back when I first was coaching in this league where we had Southwest Baptist and Truman.
Sure.
All right, well, right now Truman's ranked number 8 in their region. All right, Washburn beat Truman.
Yes, they did.
Okay, Truman right now has an opportunity to make the playoffs.
kind of seems unfair.
Right. Okay. So like those two teams are not in our league anymore. Like you said, Lincoln is not in our league anymore. Northeastern State. Now, I would say Coach Cheverini's done a great job there, turning that football program around. All respect to him. But there were games that in our league I could honestly look at one or two games like we should win this football game. Yeah. All right. And everybody knows it is not like that anymore. No. And then you got to throw in the non-conference games, and you got to find two of them. Well, if you've won a lot of games in the MIAA, well, let me tell you, it's not always easy finding games non-conference. And I'm going to try to be, I've said this, I'm going to try to be smart in how I schedule non-conference games. All right? Like, I'm not going to schedule Grand Valley and Ferris State. I'm not. Sure. All right? I'll play one of them. All right? But won't be the other game that I'll play. Sure. Because until somebody goes to the playoffs with 3 losses, that's my thought process.
But I think that's happened once in the MIAA since 2000.
Look at our region right now. It's 1 and 2 lost teams. Yeah. And you look at other regions, I know I'm going to get on my soapbox again, but there's other regions with teams with 3 losses that are 9th in their region. Yeah. 10th in their region. Okay? That's not the case. Yeah, and we got out of a different region, right? Correct. It's still, 1 lost teams, 2 lost teams, trying to fight to get in the playoffs. Now, I will say it's better because they're taking 8 now.
It is a little better. We probably could get a little bit better, though, still after that. But we'll ask Coach Mike Racy about that later on. Coach, looking forward to this last game coming up on Saturday. Go get the Tigers. Thanks for being there.
Thank you.
Head Coach Karen Higgins, ladies and gentlemen. And the senior day salute to service coming up. That'll wrap up Hornet Talk. I will talk to you coming up at Welch Stadium on Saturday. Thanks for everybody coming out tonight, listening online, KVOE.com/listen. Thanks to the great folks here at 627 Event Space. Make sure you tip your server. We'll see you next week for our combination show, football and basketball, right here at 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Ashley and the crew can't wait to serve you. 627 commercial, downtown Emporia. Remember, Emporia State basketball will be our next broadcast. Michael Dinko on the play-by-play, 2 o'clock from the MWSU Fieldhouse on KVOE. I will be with the Lady Hornets. Head coach M.J. Baker making her debut at the St. Joe Civic Arena, 3 o'clock on Friday. That'll be on Mix 104.9. Thanks to Iris Rectoria at KFFX Studios. Good night and Stingers up.
Hornet Talk has been brought to you by 6